Ethan Cole was the kind of man people never paid attention to. He wasn't loud or flashy. He didn't play off his politics. He was the quiet type, the one who stayed behind to finish the work others abandoned, the one who made everyone look good without ever being noticed. He worked at Zenith Systems, a mid-sized tech company in Seattle. When he joined, it was just a small team in a shared workspace. Over 7 years, he'd watched it grow into a modern glass office with hundreds of employees. He believed in one simple thing: loyalty still mattered. But loyalty, he would soon learn, is invisible to people chasing power. His boss, Marcus Hale, was the opposite. Confident, loud, charming, the kind of man who could sell water in a storm. Marcus didn't do much of the work himself, but he knew how to take credit for others' efforts. And in the corporate world, that's a superpower. Ethan quietly built systems, solved crises, and wrote code that saved millions. Marcus took those results to the boardroom and presented them like his own masterpieces. Ethan stayed silent, thinking, one day, good work will speak for itself. But in that company, silence didn't speak. It vanished. It happened at the annual performance meeting. The entire management team sat in a sleek conference room waiting for the CEO to announce promotions. Ethan's project, a system redesign, had boosted profits by nearly 30%. Everyone expected him to be recognized. Then the CEO smiled and said, "We're proud to promote Marcus Hale to Senior Director for his exceptional leadership and innovative strategy." The room erupted in applause. Ethan's stomach dropped. His hands went cold. For a moment, he actually looked around, waiting for his name to follow. It never did. Marcus stood up, shook the CEO's hand, and said in that confident tone, "I couldn't have done it without my amazing team, especially Ethan, who executed my ideas perfectly." The word executed hit like a slap. The room chuckled. Ethan forced a tight smile. Later that day, as people celebrated Marcus's promotion, Marcus walked past Ethan's desk and said, "You're good, Ethan, but leadership isn't about work, it's about presence. Maybe next year speak up a little." It wasn't advice, it was arrogance disguised as mentorship. That night, Ethan stayed long after everyone had left. He looked out the window at the city lights and whispered to himself, "Maybe I've been loyal to the wrong people." Over the next few months, Marcus made sure Ethan felt smaller and smaller. He assigned him trivial tasks, excluded him from meetings, and even mocked his quiet attitude in front of new hires. It wasn't just disrespect, it was humiliation disguised as humor. One afternoon, Ethan opened his inbox to find a message from Marcus. "We're restructuring. Your role is being shifted. Don't take it personally." That was it. No meeting, no explanation. Ethan stared at the screen for a long moment. Then he simply stood up, packed his laptop, and walked to HR. "I'm resigning," he said calmly. The HR manager blinked. "After 7 years? Are you sure?" "Completely sure," he replied. "Some companies don't deserve loyalty." He left quietly, no drama, no email, no farewell party. Just silence. That silence would become his greatest weapon. For months, Ethan struggled. Job rejections piled up, bills grew, but he refused to break. Instead of chasing another company, he started freelancing, helping small startups fix complex back-end systems.
He worked from cafes, late nights, cheap coffee keeping him awake. In that hardship, something awakened. He realized he didn't need validation, he needed freedom. Within 1 year, he launched his own consulting firm, CoreLogic Solutions. No investors, no fancy office, just skill and integrity. Slowly, his client base grew. He became known for one thing: fixing impossible problems quietly and perfectly. By year 3, CoreLogic had contracts with international clients, the kind of companies Marcus once bragged about working with. 5 years later, an email arrived with the subject line, "Urgent Assistance Request, Zenith Systems." Ethan froze. The same company, the same name, Marcus Hale, Senior Director. Marcus's message was desperate. Their main client had pulled funding after a major system failure. Millions were at risk. Their in-house team couldn't fix it. He said, "We heard CoreLogic handles these types of crises. Please let me know if you're available for a consultation." Ethan stared at the screen, a faint smirk on his face. Time had come full circle. He replied, politely, "Happy to discuss. Please forward the technical details and budget expectations." A week later, Ethan walked back into Zenith's shiny glass building, the same building where he'd once been invisible. Marcus was already in the conference room, visibly older, tense, and exhausted. When he saw Ethan, his mouth fell open. "Marcus, I had no idea you were the founder of CoreLogic." "People evolve," Ethan said with a calm smile. "Shall we begin?" As Marcus explained the issue, Ethan noticed his hands trembling slightly. He used big words, but didn't understand the technical root cause. He never had. When the presentation ended, Ethan simply said, "This isn't a surface issue, it's a structural flaw. To fix it, you'll need a full rebuild." Marcus frowned. "How long will that take?" Ethan replied, "A few months, and it won't be cheap." He quoted the figure, the same amount Zenith once saved when they stole credit for Ethan's project. Marcus's jaw tightened. "That's a lot." Ethan's voice stayed calm. "Good work always costs more than good talk." For the first time in years, Marcus had no comeback. Ethan's team started working. For the next several months, CoreLogic quietly repaired Zenith's failing system, one that Marcus's leadership had nearly destroyed. Every time Marcus asked for shortcuts or updates, Ethan would reply in his steady voice, "We don't rush quality." There was no gloating, no anger, no reminder of the past. But every professional email, every calm response, was its own kind of revenge. When the project ended, Zenith publicly credited CoreLogic Solutions for saving the company. The CEO herself praised Ethan in a company-wide memo. Marcus was copied on the email, silent, invisible now, just as Ethan once was. At the final meeting, Marcus extended his hand and said awkwardly, "Guess I underestimated you, Ethan." Ethan shook his hand gently and said, "No, you just overestimated yourself." He turned and walked out, quiet, dignified, and untouchable. Months later, CoreLogic was thriving. Ethan didn't tell anyone about his quiet victory. He didn't post about it. He didn't need to. One evening, his new assistant asked, "Mr. Cole, can I ask something? Don't you ever wish you'd confronted him back then, shouted, fought back, made him pay?" Ethan smiled softly. "No," he said. "People like him always destroy themselves. You just have to let time do the work." He paused, looking out the office window as the city lights flickered below. "My silence wasn't weakness. It was preparation." And in that single moment, every insult, every dismissal, every sleepless night turned into something greater. Peace. Years later, Ethan's story quietly circulated in corporate circles, not as gossip, but as an example that patience isn't passivity, and that revenge doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Ethan never sought to ruin Marcus.